let's talk a little about posing. Now, posing can be useful since the most optimal pose for creating garments is a T-pose, but when we are done with the outfit, we don't necessarily wish to keep this rigid pose. And changing it may help with the garment presentation and perhaps pronounce certain details. For instance, we can show off that the pleated dress has a gap on the side by pushing one of the avatar's legs to the foreground, and we're also able to incorporate accessories such as the purse into the whole picture by putting it in the avatar's hand. Now you can either select a pose from the preloaded ones, or you can make one yourself using the joints. Now we can turn the joints on by going to the left toolbar to the avatar display and turning on the X-ray joints, which is this icon right here. And the shortcut for it is Shift and X. And now you're able to see all of the joints, which you can also move around using the gizmo. Now also make sure to be under simulation mode while you're doing this, because of course when you're moving the joints around, you also want your garment to follow the avatar's body. Now moving these joints might give you some issues in the beginning, especially because they don't have any constraints and you can freely move them whichever direction you want, even the wrong one. But if you move them slowly and taking into consideration the pose they're already in, so you won't turn the arms the wrong direction perhaps, you will get the hang of it. So for instance, I can push her legs closer together if I would like. So something like this. And maybe I wish to put her arms down, for instance. Now I can even go to such detail that if I zoom in, you'll see that I can also move her fingers if I would like to. Right now the fingers are all stretched out, making it look a bit odd. So I can use the joints to bend them and achieve a more natural looking appearance. So kind of like this. By pushing these joints back and forth, I can achieve the pose that I wish to. So this is for poses that we achieve ourselves. So let's just press Shift and X once more. And as you can see, we did a slight change. Now we're going to take a look at the preloaded poses. And we just need to go to File, Open, and select Pose. And here we have a list of all of our avatars and we need to select the correct one. Right now we have selected the female A. So I open it up and here I have a list of all the poses. Now you can't really know on first glance what each pose does, so you're going to have to go through them and figure out by yourselves, and then you'll get a hang of it because all of the avatars basically have the same poses. Now I'm just going to randomly pick, let's say, pose 04 and double click. And as you can see, our avatar is slowly simulating with the garment into the pose that I've just selected. So this may take a bit of time because we lowered the particle distance quite a bit and our garment is very detailed. So I'm going to fast forward a bit at this point and just go to the end of the simulation so you'll see the final result. Alright, so this is the final pose that we have. So what I like to do, I always like to use one of the preloaded poses to get my avatar into a certain pose and then tweak that pose even further using the X-ray joints. So Shift and X again, and now I'm able to change this pose even further. So maybe I would like to push this arm a bit upwards. And actually this is the pose I used for my purse. So I just turned her hand around. Be sure to select the right joint. So turning her hand around. And also putting her fingers a bit closer. So when we're moving the X-ray joints, the possibilities are really endless and we can even go for more extravagant poses if we would like. And I'm just gonna let you play with that on your own. And in the next clip, we will also be talking a little bit about animating as well.